World Trade Organization lowers the 2023 trade growth forecast. Ministry of Agri to revamp Bank of Agri to begin implementation of National Development Fund. Oil prices hold steady. Russia rolls back diesel export ban. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I'm Musa Abubakar, your guide.
Uh, 2023 trade growth forecast. The organization forecasts that the volume of world merchandise trade is now expected to grow by 0.8% this year. It, however, said that the 3.3% growth projected for 2024 remains nearly unchanged from the previous estimate. The WTO further expects real world GDP to grow by 2.6% at market exchange rates in 2023 and by 2.5% in 2024. WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said the projected slowdown in trade for 2023 is caused by concern because of the adverse implication for the living standards of people around the world. She said global economic fragmentation will only make the challenges worse. State and WTO members must seize the opportunity to strengthen the global trade framework by avoiding protectionism and fostering a more resilient and inclusive global economy. The Director General said the global economy, and in particular poor countries, will struggle to recover without a stable, open, predictable, rules-based and fair multilateral trading system. While commercial services trade is not covered by the forecast, however, preliminary data show that growth in the sector may be moderating following last year's strong rebounds in the transport and travel. While commercial services trade was up 9% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2023 compared to a 19% year-on-year rise in the second quarter of 2022. While trade and output slowed abruptly in the fourth quarter of 2022 as the effects of persistent inflation and tighter monetary policy were felt in the United States, the European Union, and elsewhere. Now, the International Monetary Fund plans to speed up payments from a new program to shield countries from the fallout of global heating and is exploring the use of swaps to provide debt relief in exchange for meeting national climate pledges. Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said the Resilience and Sustainability Trust, which the IMF established in 2022, has already distributed money to 11 countries, 6 of those in Africa, and there is a queue of over 40 awaiting assistance. That means that the initial target of 5 to 10 programs a year will now need to be increased. She said in an interview before delivering a speech in Ivory Coast ahead of the IMF's annual meetings in Morocco. Accelerated climate aid from the IMF will help address some of the demands made by developing nations now bearing the physical brunt of the climate crisis. Africa, whose population finds itself on the front lines of global warming, contributes just 2 to 3% of the world's emissions. Much of the funding for the trust, which has already benefited Morocco and Rwanda, has come from the redirection of some of the pool of 650 billion worth of special drawing rights that the IMF issued during the pandemic. Now, at least 2 Egyptian banks have
been suspended or have suspended the use of Egyptian pound debit cards outside the country to stop drain on foreign currency as the country's currency shortage worsens. Arab Africa International Bank sent a notice to customers on Wednesday, and Arab International Bank sent one on Thursday announcing the suspension. According to several customers, a customer representative for Arab African International Bank confirmed the move, saying it was due to the country's foreign exchange shortage. One banker in Egypt said all banks were facing similar problems as a result of the currency shortage, but that each was taking decisions separately. A substantial number of debit card holders had been using cards to make bulk purchases, often in the United Arab Emirates, of gold, mobile phones, and other products to take advantage of the Egyptian pound's low official exchange rate. Debit card transactions are charged at the official rate of about 31 pounds to the dollar, whereas on the black market the dollar sells for around 40 or 41 pounds. Egypt has kept its currency fixed against the dollar since March, despite a widening gap with black market rates. And now, in the second quarter 2023, total capital importation into Nigeria stood at 1.030 billion dollars, lower than 1.5 billion dollars recorded in second quarter 2022, indicating a decrease of 32.90% when compared to the preceding quarter. Capital importation fell by 9.04% from 1.1 billion dollars in first quarter 2023. Other investment ranked top, accounting for 81.28% of total capital importation in second quarter 2023, followed by portfolio investment with 10.37% and foreign direct investment with 8.35%. The production sector recorded the highest inflow with $605.04 million, represented 58.73% of total capital imported in second quarter 2023, followed by the banking sector, valued at $194.58 million, and shares with $68.63 million. Capital importation during the reference period originated largely from the United States with $271.92 million, accounting for 26.39%, followed by Singapore and the Republic of South Africa with $177.4 million and $136.95 million. Lagos State remained the top destination in second quarter 2023 with $778.06 million, accounting for 75.52% of total capital, followed by Abuja with $194.28 million. First Bank of Nigeria Limited received the highest capital into Nigeria in second quarter 2023 with $323.13 million, followed by Citibank Nigeria Limited with $187.7 billion and Rand Merchant Bank with $126.03 million. Now let's look at how markets are faring. The federal government says it's
will aggressively finance the 2023-2024 dry season farming. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kari says priority will be on wheat, rice, cotton and vegetables.
Certification of available planting materials for some food security crops in readiness for dry season farming. 2. Aggressive promotion and preparations for dry season farming, which commences from November this year. 3. Implementation of the dry season wheat production starting in November 2023 as part of the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket NAGS AP projects funded by the African Development Bank. Under this scheme, the target is to produce wheat of over 70,000 hectares across the wheat production zone of the country and an expected yield of 875,000 metric tons to our food reserve. Blending of appropriate fertilizers to support this year's dry season farming while making provisions for next year's farming season well in advance. Providing the trainer for extension agents involved in dry season farming in collaboration with wheat producing states and other partners such as flour mills. Furthermore, arrangements are also at advanced stage for dry season farming of rice, maize, and other horticultural crops. 5. Hold the National Agriculture and Food Security Summit in November 2023 to bring all stakeholders together for the development of a national action plan for food security with an implementation and sustainability strategy.
Well, to talk for securities, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared a national emergency on food security due to the sudden hike in food prices that has made basic items unaffordable to millions of Nigerians. This declaration is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of our food ecosystem, which several development programs and private-led sector-led initiatives continue to tackle. To discuss this issue and way forward is Orima Digong Be Great Wilson, National President, United Young Farmers Forum. You're welcome to Business Express. He joins us to discuss food security.
No, thank you so much. I'm privileged to be here. My name's Orima Digong Be Great Wilson. Okay. I'm a national president of United Young Farmer Forum.
Okay. Beautiful.
United Young Farmer Forum is
okay. Let's first of all, the way it works here is, let me ask the question, then we'll continue the conversation. Okay. First of all, recently, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared the agri sector, emergency in the agri sector, with trying to see how the government can come in and inject the right funds and to develop this sector. Somehow, what do you make of the move so far by the president?
Yeah, we really appreciate the comments of the president by declaring the state of emergency on food security. It's a call of attention of the food producers in Nigerians and the farmers. Like United Young Farmer Forum, since the pronunciation of this state of emergency on food security, we have been working around with the farmers on how to collaborate and work with this present government. Our farmers are ready, and the programs has been designed in a cluster, which we are ready to work with the president by his directive.
Okay, young farmers. How much are we attracting young people into farming? I understand that you are the president of the United Young Farmers Forum. So how much young farmers are interested in farming? What do you make of, let's tell us about the number. Yeah. Tell us about the number and what do they need actually to, to get them into farming.
Yeah, thank you so much. First and foremost, like myself, I happen to be a son of the farmers with my late father, Orima Digong, from Kwara State. we have been doing this in the ways of how we have been doing the agriculture, but today the agriculture is changed. So we are talking about smart agriculture today, where when we started in 2013, during the former president of the PDB, Jonathan's period, we started mobilizing the youth into the agric. How do we do this? We went through the rural area because our organization is cut across the 36 states of the federations. We have to mobilize the farmers across the rural area, then also looking at the market in a cluster, because every farmers and the youth, the first and foremost to know what is the market like, what is the profitabilities of this particular crops they want to go into. So when they see that and see it's business and it's doable, so it attracts the youth to come more to the agri. We started from FCT in Dobi precisely, where we have our flag off for cluster development project. We started with the sesame seed, which is more exportable crops in 2019. We tried this and it's doable, and we see more youth coming into this business. We are able to partner with a Japanese agency on the area of drone technologies, because we are trying to encourage you to come more into the agri. When you are talking about agriculture and you want to attract more youth to come into agri, so there is a need for technology, there's a need for mechanization. So what we do, we invite the Japanese agent, the partner, to come in on their own technologies. We want to share the experience of Japanese. How do they work over there? So it's quite expensive. While we discussed with the Raw Material Research Council, it was not doable. So we have to go further and discuss with Ilaro Polytechnic, which they have a fabricator of local fabricator of drones technology, okay, which we are using to spray our farm by the herbicide, the seed broadcasting, and the fertilizer broadcasting. I think it's more easy for the youth to come in more into the agri and the tractor service provider, which we are using. So the youth are more serious and important when it comes to mechanizations and the technology.
Okay, recently there have been conversation about artificial intelligence. What role do you think artificial intelligence will play in smart farming?
Thank you so much. Presently, we have a project is ongoing with our partner in Holam's rice mill in Rukubi, Nasarawa State. They have been working there because on the project where we set up to work on presently is still ongoing on the cluster. So the artificial intelligence on the drone service technology, it really helps, which the youth, they have trained up to 10,000 youth in Ilaro Polytechnic and across the states, or now to pilot the drones. The drones, and which the drones also, the work of the zone, the services of the drones are area where we have a coordinates, the GPS and the surveillance, and also the seed broadcastings, the chemicals spraying, which is herbicide, and the fertilizer. So I think it has really helps to also to determine the yield of the crops by the planting. So we already know with the artificial intelligence, you know what you are getting at the end of the farming, not predicting by the local manual use.
Okay, you've been a farmer for some time now, I believe. How does climate change affect food security in Nigeria? And what smart farming practice can mitigate these effects?
Thank you so much. I think it's some years back, we have been working on a manual level, which it has not really encouraged agriculture in Nigerians. You can see a lot of people, while we are growing up, we are using a manual labors to do all this. So it has really discouraged a youth while migrating from their rural areas to the city. But today, the technologies has advanced. that really encourage the youth, that makes more use to come into the agricultures. And as we know, Nigerians of those days where we rely on oil, but today the youth are more encouraged when we have during the 2019 when the President Muhammadu Buhari locked borders and stopped the importations of rice. So in Nigerians where we are looking at it, when they locked the border, like the United Young Farmer Forum, we are able to talk to our marketers in Lagos, also talk to the youth to come back to the rural area. Let's start this business. When we look at it, it's more profitable, so we have to venture into this. Like myself, I was able to farm up to 150 hectares in Gbagbolada Area Council in Dobi there, while some of our youth also they participate in the programs. We really have a tonnage. I think in an hectare where you're having a 5 tons per hectare. And as of then, we are selling up to 150,000 per tons, per metric tons. Okay. So it's really huge and profitable. We appreciate this. We appreciate the federal government for stopping that.
I'm afraid the time given to us has elapsed, and I believe this is an ongoing conversation, and we'll continue it. Definitely, this is just a start. So, well, thank you very much, Orima Degun, Be Great Wilson, National President, United Young Farmers Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now, moving on. Now, let's see how the Naira is exchanging for other currencies. European stocks appear gains as investors react to robust U.S. jobs data. Phillips down 3%. Let's join now Bossede for an update on global markets. Bossede, what's happening?
Hello and welcome to the Global Market Review. European stocks turned negative on Friday as market participants reacted to stronger than expected U.S. jobs data. DAX rose 0.33%, FTSE 0.07%, and CAC 40 of France also topped 0.28%. Asia stocks were mixed as investors look ahead to U.S. job data that could set the tone for the Federal Reserve's next move for interest rates. The index was last trading 2.1% higher. However, the Nikkei dipped 0.26% at 30,994.67, while the Shanghai Composite topped 0.10% across 3,110.48, and the Hang Seng Index also inched up 1.58% to close 17,485.98. U.S. stock futures fell Friday as Treasury yields jumped following the release of stronger than expected U.S. jobs data. Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 156 points. The S&P 500 dipped 0.71%, also with the Nasdaq Composite at 0.94%. For Africa market, Namibia closed positive, Ghana marginally positive, while South Africa and Tunisia closed the last trading day of the week on a negative note. That's the market review. Back to you, Musa.
Well, thank you, Bossede. This is where we end this edition of Business Express for the week. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube. Business Express returns next week. Thanks for watching. Do have a beautiful day.